Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover on this, even though originally it was a talk through. I've had a lot of technical complications, so it's just kind of what I had to do. We're starting off with the NYX HD Concealer in the shade Light. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my eyelids, and I'm going to go ahead and take a damp beauty blender, and I'm going to go ahead and stop saying go ahead. I'm going to blend that out. It's going to be our base. I'm going to take the Becca Ombre Nudes palette, and I'm going to take the very first light shade on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend that out all in my crease, all around there, circular windshield wiper motions, back and forth, until there's no product left on that brush. And I'm going to do that on both sides. This is going to be our transition color. And then I'm going to take the second color in the palette, and I'm going to take the same brush, and I'm going to go right in the crease with this one. And I'm going to go back and forth, and I'm going to blend that out as well. But I'm not going to go quite as high as I did with the first transition color. I'm going to take the Maybelline The Nudes Rock palette, and I'm going to take a flat synthetic brush. It's rounded so it can get into smaller spaces. And I'm going to take the navy blue color from this palette, and I am going to pack that color all over my eye, and I'm going to go about halfway up this crease eventually. And as I pack this on, it's a buildable color, so you're probably going to have to go back quite a few times. And then I'm going to round this out to give it a definition there. And I am going to leave that inner corner blank, and I'll show you why later. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and that's what that looks like. Then I'm going to take the Revealed palette by Coastal Scents, and I'm going to take the navy color in there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that as well and pack that right over top of the navy from the Maybelline palette. This color has a lot of fallout, so if you're using this particular palette with this particular color, be prepared to have a lot of fallout from it. Then after I pack that all on, I am going to move on to a pigment, and that pigment is from Younique. It's called Playful, and it should be popping up here shortly, showing you what that revealed looks like over the Maybelline color. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to blend that out first. Ignore everything I just said. I'm going to take the same brush that we used from the Becca palette, and I'm going to go ahead and blend all of that out so that it's seamless from blue to the brown color that we used from the Becca palette. And I'm going to go back and forth and blend that out. I completely forgot that I did this step, but it's just so that there's not any harsh lines. And I'll show you here in just one moment what that looks like. Okay, now I'm going to use a loose pigment from Younique, and it's called Playful. And I dump it into the cap, and then I take that same flat brush that we were using before, and I wet it with NYX Matte Finish Spray. You can use water if you want. Basically what this does is it just makes the pigment damp, and it packs it on with a lot more oomph. You're going to see a lot more color from it instead of it being sheer. It's going to be a lot more opaque. So I pack that onto both lids, and I keep it pretty low. I don't really go up above that crease, and then I take that same fluffy brush once again, and I blend that out so that it's seamless. Then I'm going to take the Becca palette one more time, and I'm going to take the third shade in, and I'm going to take the Crown brush in C347. It's a shadow and crease brush. And I'm going to take that color and I'm going to go right into the crease. I'm not going to go up above the brow bone at all. I'm going to stay right in that crease to make it really sunken in and really deep. There's a reason for that. We're going to be going back on that color with black, and the brown just makes the black not as harsh since it's laid down there. first. Then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to flip it over to the crease side, and I'm going to take the black and I'm going to run that black back and forth in the crease, just like that, back and forth, back and forth. And then I'm going to tap it into the corner there. And I am going to do that on both sides. Of course, why would you have one eye look one way and the other way? Do you ever notice makeup people always say that? Do it on both sides. Well, duh. Okay, so anyway, moving that back and forth, blend it out really well. And then I am going to take, it's actually a lash glue bottle. And you can use anything that has like a sharp edge. And I'm going to line that up with my bottom lash line. And I'm going to take a skinnier fluffy brush. As you can see, it's a little skinnier than the fluffy brush that I've been using to blend. And I'm going to put a little bit of black on that brush. And I'm going to run it across the edge of that lash tube. Basically what this does is it gives us kind of like a cat eye effect without making it so messy, and it makes it a really sharp. You can use tape if you want. It tends to be a little harsher on the skin, but it does the same exact thing. Then I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to go back and forth and blend that black out completely so that there are no harsh lines except for that very straight edge there that we created with the lash tube. And I'm going to go back and forth to blend it all out. Once that is all blended out, we will go ahead and move forward. And we're going to take just a sponge applicator. I find that they're really tiny. You could also use a really tiny brush and just take white and put that in that inner corner. Remember, we left that blank. So we're just going to put that in there, and it's going to open the eye up. Then we're going to go ahead and do our liner. I am using the Maybelline Precision Liquid Liner in the shade Black. And you can do any kind of liner that you want here, whether that be a winged liner, a cat eye, but I'm going to go ahead and do winged liner here. You could also leave the liner area blank if you wanted. I'm going to go ahead and do lashes. I use the Ardell Demi Wispies, and I went ahead and placed those on. I added the false lashes, did my foundation and concealer. Unfortunately, I lost that footage. So we're jumping right into doing my brows, which, as always, I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Chocolate. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill those in and draw those on. It takes me quite a while to do my eyebrows because I don't really have any hair. So we'll just fast forward through that. And then I'm going to take this cheapo palette from Walmart by Salon Perfect. And I just take a thin brush and take the two darkest shades and go over that. It just kind of keeps that liner from smudging and gives it a long wear and lasting effect. Then I'm going to go back with the palette there from Maybelline, and I'm going to take black and I'm going to smudge that under my lash line and smoke that out. It's just going to add a little bit more drama to the look itself. I have stopped using eyeliner over the past few years, and I think that using the shadow to smoke it out looks a lot better. Then I take a bare fluffy pencil brush and blend that out just a little bit more to give it more of a dramatic smoky effect. Then I'm going to go ahead and take white there on my pinky, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner of my eye as well, and that just brightens it up a little bit more. And then I'm going back over, since we had so much blending going on, I'm going back over the navy again with a little bit more of that Younique loose pigment because I felt like I didn't have enough on there and it wasn't sparkly enough, and that's what I was going for. Then I'm going to go ahead and contour. I'm going to take a flat angled kabuki brush with the E.L.F Blush and Contour Palette in the shade St. Lucia. And I'm just going to go through this really quickly because I'm going to be doing a contour and highlight routine, an in-depth one here pretty soon. So as you can see, I'm just bronzing all over my face. And then I'm going to take a fluffy angled small brush and I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose there. Don't mind my weirdo faces that I make. I'm going to go on to the tip of my nose and across the bridge of my nose there. Then I'm going to take a big fluffy kabuki brush from E.L.F and I'm going to dab that out. I'm not going to rub because I don't want it to get muddy, but I'm just going to dab it along there to blend it out. And I'm going to go back with the same E.L.F contour bronzer and blush palette in the same shade, St. Lucia. I'm going to take an angled natural haired brush and I'm going to go ahead and put some of that blush right there on my cheekbones. After that's blended out, I'm going to take the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter and I'm going to take a very small natural haired brush and I'm going to place that on my tops of my cheekbones. I'm going to put a little bit on my chin and a little bit on the tip of my nose and some of my cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take a really flat, thin brush and put a little bit of that same highlighter by Becca underneath my brows. I'm going to take my favorite mascara, which is the Falsies mascara in Blackest Black by Maybelline. I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. I always put mascara on my lower lash line because I feel like I look naked without it. You can skip this step if you want to. Completely up to you and totally your preference. Then I'm going to take the EOS Lip Balm and I'm just going to prep my lips with that by putting that on. And then I'm going to take a Lippie stick by ColourPop in the shade Bound. It is a nude pink color. And I'm just going to swipe that all over my lips. You can opt for a bold color if you want, but since the eye is pretty bold and dramatic itself, I just stuck to something neutral on my lips. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask me. You can comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be sure to put something new up shortly. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys later.